Universal Design for Learning, or UDL, is an educational framework based on research in the learning sciences, including cognitive neuroscience, that guides the development of flexible learning environments that can accommodate learning differences. Recognizing UDL as a framework is important. In this context, a framework means a conceptual approach to course design, assessment design, and instructional design and delivery. It's a way of looking at each step in the teaching and learning process through the frame of UDL concepts, principles, and guidelines. Just as important is recognizing what UDL is not. UDL is not a method of instruction or course design. It is not accommodations and modifications. It is not the same manifestation in all contexts. It is not just for students with disabilities. It is not naturally good teaching, and it is certainly not objective. Additionally, one of the things that is often said in universal design for learning in the field is that UDL is not and cannot be a checklist. So what are we doing here, presenting a checklist? Well, the document you're about to explore is one in which I've bumped up against one of the most frequently discussed topics in the field of UDL today. What does UDL look like in practice? If it's difficult to make a checklist or operationalize UDL for research, then how can it be efficiently explained and applied to things like course design? I propose that the solution is to rethink what is meant by operationalizing, and relatedly, what is meant by checklist. I suggest that UDL can be understood according to the territory staked out by existing definitions like that with which I began this podcast, plus the combined intentional application of defined UDL concepts and guidelines. Additionally, these statements of what UDL is not form really great boundary lines. I refer to this as the UDL territory. My work on this issue also influenced the development of the checklist I'm here presenting. That is, unlike other checklists that we have used for things like accessibility guidelines, this checklist assumes that there is no definite, static, absolutely correct way to apply principles. The checkpoints, therefore, are not static things to do, but rather are points that focus instructional designers, teachers, and faculty on relevant aspects of the UDL guidelines that are worth considering at different steps of the development of a course. In this way, the checklist must be applied to creative minds, like yours. I'm providing direction within the UDL territory, but to be successful, the concepts will be applied according to the unique context of a course, its objectives, and its likely student population. This requires you to interpret the points in the checklist and apply them appropriately based on what you know about the course that you're designing. I hope this helps.